Hey everybody, I'm Deborah Richmond and I am standing in front of a quilt that is called Fair and Square. This is a very simple quilt to put together and it's also very fast. So let's show you how to make the block. Alright, so here's the block you're going to make. In order to make this block, you are going to need 2 strips that are 1 3/4 inch width by 5 inches long. 2 of those. And then 1 strip for the center, which is 2.5 inches wide by 5 inches long. All you're going to do is take these to your sewing machine and you're going to sew them together like this. Now that's one way of making the block. The other way of making the block is to sew long strips together. So in other words, take a strip of 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 2.5 inch long strip and sew them together so that you have these long strips. Then you're going to go through and you're going to cut 5-inch increments. This will already measure 5 inches this way, so these will become squares when you measure 5 inches and cut. And that's a way for you to make several of these much faster than cutting the pieces first. Now these blocks are 5 inches and you can see that they are sewn together with 5-inch blocks of white in between. Now you can see that to make this pattern read the way it does, you start with a strip where all of the center lines are going horizontally, and then the next row you start with the center lines are going vertically. And so this gives you this squared off look. You also of course stagger it so that when you start one row you start with a white square, and then the next row you're going to start with the block itself. This quilt can be any size you want. It's very easy to add or subtract the number of blocks you're going to need in order to make it the size you want. You can also add a border if you wish. I am probably going to quilt this one edge to edge. I really like that look, and I'm going to go with that. This is a wonderful quilt for beginners. It's a wonderful quilt if you need something fast. It could be a really charming quilt for a baby or a child. It can lend itself with more masculine colors for a man's quilt. So I hope you'll give this quilt a try. Thanks for joining me.
And be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can do so here by clicking the subscribe button. That way you'll find out about new videos as they become available.